Yeah, it was a little bit cooler here too. All right, looks like we're online. We're just doing a little pre-show banter. Shows RPGrinders. I'm on with Eric. This is Frank. Just discussing some stuff. I think you guys gonna want to stick around for the show because we've got some cool little announcements. Uh, we actually have an archive listener that won the contest, man. They didn't want to enter the contest because they thought somebody had won already. And I'm
Hmm.
like, no, nobody. I mean, if you tweet RP Grinders, if you answer correctly, you're gonna win. Most likely, if you didn't get beat to the punch. But so yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We got lots to talk about on the show today. Not a ton of news, which is cool, but enough to keep us kind of busy. Possible new segment. We got to talk to Break, but I don't see any foreseeable issues with the new segment that we might be doing. Um, what else? No homie discounts this week. Eric has a review for Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2, which will be something to look forward to. Some interesting stinkos this week. You guys going to want to stick around for that. Um, and we're going to have a fantastic free-for-all today. We'll be talking psychic tarot readings. I know we've talked about it on the show before, but it's been a while. We haven't done that in a long time. If we have time, we'll be talking about third-party voting and whether or not that's a waste of time. Uh, so you guys are going to want to stick around. We're waiting on break. The show's RP Grinders. We have not started the show proper. Let's see if
I
anybody... What's that?
I got a link for the Monostinkos. I just
Okay.
found it.
Stick it right in there, man. Uh, wow, that's crazy. That's a crazy stinker. We'll talk about that. Um, I'm sure Breakman's going to bring up the latest in politics, which he always usually does. But
Oh
we've
yeah,
got
I
a,
could mention all the Democratic nonsense, but let's see what Break has first.
you can go ahead and put that in there too. I'm sure Break will have that too. What, you mean them caving on everything and not asking for anything on that stimulus? Uh, God, lots to talk about today. Gonna be an exciting show. We're just waiting on break, man. If you're just joining us, I'm Frank, along with Eric. Um, got some cool announcements today. We got
I
winner.
need to put this water away, by the way, so let me
Go right
get
ahead,
away
dude.
from the keyboard.
Go right ahead. Um, just lots to talk about today. A couple announcements right at the beginning of the show. I'll get into, um, and maybe another one if Break gets on, we can talk with Break and get this thing going, man. I think I've got a really cool idea for a new segment, so I'm hoping that Break is on board with it. If he is, then we'll be presenting to you. I mean, you guys know that our bracket challenge was pretty fun. We did the greatest cartoon of all time, which got a little bit of feedback on it. People were kind of upset that Spawn didn't win the whole thing. It was Spawn versus Gargoyles. You can't go wrong with either in the finals, but it's going to be kind of relating to that format.
I know Waylon was like bent out of shape about the winner for that, but to be fair, Spawn did win the adult cartoon crackout, so
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, there was no reason to be bent out of shape on that one at all, man. Like, I don't think anybody can argue that those were probably the two best cartoons in that bracket. Like, he had a valid argument with our last year we did the horror icon tourney, and he definitely had a valid argument for that. But whatever. It's how it goes, and maybe we'll do another one. Hint, hint. Um, Coming up in the future that he might be a little more pleased with. But, hoping to get Break on here so we can discuss it before the show. But yeah, we're just waiting on Break to get on board. Um, we have a winner of our contest from a couple weeks ago for episode 600, the archive listener. That should be. It's really fun to talk about stuff like that. Of course, Freak 5 should be getting his. Freak 5 decided to get Fairy Tale for the Switch.
I wish I could have bought that, but I decided to get Cold Steel 3 on the Switch instead because I found a deal on Amazon for getting it for like $48.
It's a better deal, dude. But nonetheless,
Well, if I wait long enough, it'll probably be dropping in price to like $40 or something.
yeah. I think on the PlayStations right now is like. Oh no, I was thinking of Trails of Cold still. Yeah, there's a minor sale on that.
So I have that already on digital.
Yeah. But we should have a ton of fun on the show today. We need to talk to Break before we start the show proper. But the brackets are a ton of fun, and people have a lot of fun with them. So we're gonna do it in a slightly different format. We're gonna break it up over the whole month. Hopefully, Break agrees to do it because I think that'd be a ton of fun. We could do all kinds of stuff. We can do like greatest TV show of all time, greatest movie of all time. Or we could break it down into genres, and then once we get our genre winners or like the top 8 genre winners, then we can put them all together and decide what the greatest movie of all time. We could do video games. We can do it. I mean, there's a ton. There's just a plethora of things we can do with that. So I'm hoping that Break gets on board and we can do it. But I was thinking of doing that, but bringing in 64 quote unquote teams, and then each successive week whittling them down to the final 8 on the final Friday of the month, and I think that'd be a ton of fun. I think a lot of people have a lot of fun, especially the chatters. So you're going to want to be in chat live 7 Eastern on Fridays on twitch.tv/RPGrinders. Make sure you join, get involved, all that fun stuff. It should be a ton of fun. I don't think Break's going to have a ton of problems with that, but I wanted to share with you guys before, like the pre-show banter type stuff. So just waiting on Break to get on in, and we'll be starting the show proper. I need to find out if we're live, so I'm gonna go here and check out here. What is going on here? The creator dashboard, that's what I need there. Okay. Let's see. It looks like we're live, so that's cool. Let me make sure the video is showing. Should say episode 602. Yep, it's showing 602. So there we go. We're good. Yeah. Today's show should be a ton of fun. We've got a little bit of news. I got a couple of announcements to make. Hopefully 3 announcements to make. Stinkos are going to be interesting this week. I see some fun stuff in there. Free for all should be a little bit of fun. So, and hopefully we'll have a new segment announcement, a bunch of stuff. So, I've got an announcement regarding GDP. I know people have been asking about that. Grinder Dance Party.
The gross domestic product, you mean?
Yeah, the gross domestic product. Well, there's plenty of questions about that right now, Eric. But
are you talking about your own supply?
Yeah. I'm gonna do it twice a month. So like the first 2 Saturdays of the month, I'll do it. But I want to make a proper announcement on the show. But I'm gonna do it on Saturdays, I believe. Saturday's probably gonna be a better day. So go ahead and do that. That should be a ton of fun. Hopefully you guys will be back on the Twitch, because I can't do it on YouTube because YouTube always, wants to copyright strike and all that bullshit. So it'll be a Twitch exclusive, and that should be a ton of fun. Uh, what else going on, Eric? It's hot, a little hot, too humid here in Denver. Like this is the first year I ever remember having any sort of humidity. It's like super rare, but we've been getting like 60, 70, 80% humidity here. And that's just way too hot, man. Coupled with the heat, like, makes you not want to do anything. I know you guys out east get a lot of humidity, but that's not the case here. So, we're just waiting on Break to get on in. Don't quite see him. I think he just joined the Skype, so we should be able to discuss real quick before, and then we could decide. I don't know, Eric, do you think like doing like TV shows, top TV shows of all time would be fun, or like do you have anything specific in mind?
Not really.
All right, we'll wait till Break gets on and we'll discuss, see what he has to say, because there's there's lots of good stuff out there.
And watch you guys name a bunch of shows from the 80s that probably aged poorly.
Yeah, probably, but there'll be some new ones in there too, man. Don't you worry your pretty young head, Eric. There'll be plenty for everybody. We could go decade by decade, dude. There's so many TV shows and genres of TV shows and stuff like that, but let's see. Yeah, I'm looking at the news here.
I think it's funny that all Christians love Trump, yet Trump's probably an atheist.
Yeah, I know, it's really weird. I don't even think he's an atheist. He just doesn't practice. Doesn't practice. He definitely doesn't know anything about Christianity. Like I bet you he couldn't name even one Bible verse. I remember he was on like OAN, I think, and the guy asked him like, what's your favorite Bible verse? And he's like, oh, they're all good. He's such a bullshitter. He's like one of those bullshitters that likes to talk his way out of almost any situation. It's so dumb. So I don't know. If you're just joining us, the show's RPGrinders. We're waiting on Break to get on in. He's in chat. What's up, Break? Okay, let's get Break on in. Let's see. Let's add Break. Let's see if we can get Break on in. We'll discuss this little thing before we get the show started. Call him Break now, so hopefully he gets on here. We'll start the show pretty soon, but we got to discuss a couple things before the show. Hey, Break.
Hello?
Hey, I can hear you, sort of.
Okay, good. Sort of? How about now?
I can hear you much better now. Much better. Hey, dude. I got an idea. Everybody had fun with the cartoon bracket.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we do that as like a monthly thing? But like we do, like for instance, let's say we do top TV shows of all time, right? And we come up with 64 shows at the beginning of the month. So like the first Friday we'll have 64, and then the second Friday we'll obviously we'll have whittled it down to 32. Freak Five's in chat. Freak Five, we haven't started the show yet. We're kind of discussing like maybe a new segment on Grinders here, and then so on and so forth until we get the last Friday where we crown the champion. What do you think, Break?
Oh, sounds interesting.
Yeah, what would you want for a first like next week? We'll do. I'll get it together this first time and see how it works.
Yeah,
but
that's the only thing I'm worried about is work.
Yeah, you guys don't have to worry about it. If need be, I can put it together. It's not a problem. But I was thinking that we could do that like on a monthly basis, like come up with one, like for instance, like the last. Obviously, we'll kind of discuss it, and then we can get ideas from chat and archive listeners as well. But But we do like how we did the cartoon one because it was really successful. People really liked it. I know the chatters liked it. I've gotten good input, out of chat. So people really like the idea of that. But we could stretch it out over the whole month, and then each month we'll have a different like thing. Like I don't know, like before the end of today's show, we could decide. I don't know. We do like top action movies of all time or whatever.
Top
whatever.
porn stars.
Yeah, top porn stars. There you go. We could do that one. I'm pretty well versed in that. But Freak, let us know if you can hear us, Freak. That would be very helpful. So do you think that's a good idea, Break?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so what's our first topic for the next? Because August starts soon. I already know. I mean, as long as
bring it up in chat later.
Yeah, maybe we'll ask chat. That'll
Bring
be
up the chatters. Yeah.
okay. Cool. And then like October's always got to be a horror themed one. So October's kind of a special month, especially for me. So as long as it's horror related, I don't care. But any other month could be anything. Like one day we'll do the top. And then I was thinking like let's say we do video games, right? Like we can have. We can do one for first-person shooters. We could do one for RPGs. We could do one for, adventure games, et cetera, et cetera. And then we take the top 8, and then we have them battle it out, type thing. And we could do that for movies. We could do different genres. I think it actually would. Thanks, Freak. Really appreciate that. I think that would lend really well. What do you think?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
We try it out and see how it goes.
Yeah. All right. Okay, and then I got a couple announcements that I'll make at the beginning of the show. Some good stuff. So, all right, you guys ready to rock?
Yeah, I guess.
You ready, Eric?
Yeah.
All right. Don't sound too excited there, Break.
Me? What did I do?
I don't know, man. I was just saying, like, it's gonna be a fun show today, I think, guys. Lots going on. Lots. Okay, let's do this. And welcome, everybody, to episode 602 of RPGrinders. I'm your host, Frank Branches, alongside my trusty cohorts, Eric the Great, Breakman the Bold. Gentlemen, how are you? Jesus Christ. It's going to be one of those shows today, I can tell. It's going to be one of those, isn't it, Break? How you doing, Break? Break, you there?
Did harmonica break?
I think Break got broken by the harmonica. Are you there, Break? Did we lose Break? What's going on with Breakman, man? Oh, he's on he's on mute right now. I don't even know.
What though? I don't you say I'm on mute, but I'm not on mute. Just Skype is. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh,
for
okay,
sure.
cool. I thought I was just talking to myself again.
Yeah, it's all good.
All of a sudden it got quiet, because I was sitting there talking, and you guys kept going and going. And I'm like, no, I'm sitting here. I'm right here. I'm here.
No, you know how I can tell something's wrong with Skype or you're on mute or something, because there's like a little mute button on Skype when that happens. Break. I kind of know when you get quiet. There's like stuff going on, but so I'm glad, man. I'm glad you're doing all right. Your week okay, Break?
I guess.
I guess. That didn't sound too...
it's as good as it can be in this world being destroyed by coronavirus and a tyrant.
Yeah, we're going to get to some of that later for sure, Breakman. I'm sure you got plenty of stinkos to go over. So, I mean, if it's... You and I think a lot alike, man. Like, when I go to do my stinkos, I always try to think of different things because I already know that you got that shit covered, man. So, it'll be fun when we talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah,
yeah, fun.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Fun.
Yeah. Eric, how you doing, man?
I want to bust some liberal skulls.
You want to bust some skulls? Who pissed you off, man?
Nobody pissed me off. It's just exacerbated with the illusion that we can actually still hold an honor system when it regards to the democratic process.
Yeah, no, I'm sure we'll talk about that pretty soon as well, Eric. A lot of dissent, man. I hear your frustration, man. Like, a lot of us are frustrated, Eric. So we'll get to it. I promise you.
Frustrated, angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are all the emotions right there.
Yeah,
It's not just
frustrated.
that though; it's people being stupid about like interpreting messages behind certain pieces of media.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Oh
Before
my
we,
God! Like QAnon is saying that everything Trump says is coded.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm
I
talking about
know, but I was just
anime.
saying
Yeah.
as an example.
I'm with you, Break.
I was
I'm
just
with
using
you,
an
dude.
example. Jeez.
There's like all kinds of conspiracy bullshit going around, and
Yeah,
shit.
QAnon is getting more and more pervasive, and it's scary.
You guys, I mean, we talked about this shit. We might as well talk about it before I get to announcement, man. Trump's getting very close to being a fascist dictator, man. Like he's getting very, very, very close. If this election gets delayed, which I know there's been pushback on both.
See, the thing is, he doesn't have the authority to do it. He doesn't he can't do it. But there's so many things that he couldn't do that he shouldn't have been able to do, but nobody's held him accountable.
Yeah, Slager's in
That's
chat.
the only reason that I get worried.
Yeah, Slager's in.
I think the biggest reason he can't do it is because he can't control every state's actions.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's working to actively rig the elections, especially in Republican-controlled states. It's easier where they've shut down a lot of voting booths and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah, see, Slager, our good friend Slagar's in chat. He says close. Yeah, I know, Slagar. It is close though. It's not quite there, but
yeah, he doesn't have the full authority yet that he wants. But nobody has held him accountable. Nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, the closest we got was the Democrats' impeachment, where they only brought up 2 fucking counts against him.
Yeah.
It was a sham of an impeachment trial because he is the most vile, despicable criminal we've dealt with in a very long time. Well, except for Epstein.
Well, yeah. Well, and I was going to say, as far as presidentially, since Nixon, I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, there's lots to talk about on there, but before we get to that, I got some announcements. We have a winner for our contest, our archive listener contest. At toy_open, Tony won the $25 gift card. He answered the question correctly. It was 1428 Elm Street, Springwood. So and it was Ohio. You guys didn't know that Elm Street is the Nightmare on Elm Street was in Ohio. So that was the whole deal there. He also wanted me to plug I'm looking for his Instagram, but he sent us some really cool pictures. So shout out to Tony, and he wanted me to plug his Instagram. So I will do that as soon as I find it. It's Tony Toy Box Open Today. So make sure you check him out on Insta. He's got an extensive collection of horror figures and other stuff that are really interesting. He made some cool Freddy pictures specifically for us, which was really cool. He says he's been listening for a long time, has never had a chance to join in the live stream. So shout out to Tony. Appreciate you listening for sure. And any chance you get on Friday 7 Eastern to join us, we'd love to have you in. But thanks, Tony. Really appreciate that. So that's the announcement. Another announcement I got is I'm going to be doing GDP twice a month on Saturdays. So tomorrow's going to be the first new incarnation of GDP, and I was thinking of doing a funky one tomorrow. So bring on the funk tomorrow, 7 Eastern.
God, yes, the funk.
Yeah.
George Clinton.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of stuff like that.
Collins, man, Zapp and Roger's my fucking
Zapp
favorite,
and Roger for sure, man. Yeah.
Zapp and Roger, dude, we have to have some.
I don't know any funk.
I'm sure you do.
You have to go home now.
Funk was before my time.
Yeah, probably was before your time.
Funk is going on right now, man. There's modern bands like Here Come the Mummies and
Bootsy Collins. And haven't noticed I really don't listen to contemporary artists at all, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So so starting tomorrow, I think tomorrow I'm gonna do the funk theme. So We Want the Funk is definitely gonna be included in that little deal. So 45 minutes to an hour of just pure music exclusively on Twitch. I'm not gonna be doing it on YouTube because I get too many strikes, and then that's it. So it'll just be on Twitch. 45 minutes to an hour of DJing your favorite music. So, you guys will make the show. So hopefully we'll have a few people. I know it just starting GDP up again, it's going to be kind of tough, but, stuff like that. Oh yeah. Love Roller Coaster, man. Hell yeah. Breakman. See, Breakman knows what the deal is.
I remember that song.
Yeah.
I just don't know the band associated with it.
Yeah, it's definitely not Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I was gonna say it was remade by another group, but that's not the version we were going with.
Yeah, actually, it was Stevie Wonder, right? Wasn't it Stevie Wonder?
Ohio Players.
Ohio Players. There you go. Yeah. Okay, so that's what you can expect tomorrow, but we'll have a bunch of themed deals, twice a month. First two Saturdays of the month, I'll take you down just a trippy DJ lane, so that'll be good to look forward to. Also, we're gonna have what time? 7 Eastern. So
7 Eastern. Okay.
Yeah, 7 Eastern.
I'm making sure I put it in the show notes later tonight. So
yeah, no problem. Right on, man. So one more thing to talk about real quick. We're going to have a new segment on the show. We're going to try it out. A lot of people had a lot of fun with the cartoon bracket that we did. We're going to do something every month, at least for the first 3 months, see how it goes. But we're going to do 64 teams. I'll call them teams, but it could be something like as simple as top TV shows of all time or whatever. Chat's going to determine that. I think the last Friday of every month they'll determine what the next challenge is, but we'll whittle them down. So we'll have 64 to begin with, and the next week we'll be down to 32, and then we'll be down to 16, and then the last Friday of every month we'll crown the champion in each perspective, challenge that we do. So for instance, we did the greatest cartoon of all time, which happens to be Gargoyles, according to the RPGrinders. But we'll do everything. We'll do TV shows. We'll do movies. We'll do specific genres of movies. Then we'll get to do all kinds of cool stuff. So I'm hoping that everybody really enjoys that. So starting next month. So in chat, if you guys have any ideas, we'll be starting. I say next month, but it's actually next week. So you guys in chat are going to have to determine what we do for the month of August. So
I got a suggestion.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Greatest harmonica players.
Oh God.
I nominate Break.
Break, you're not going to be on that list if we do that. So just letting you know. Are you ever going to learn how to play that thing, man? I mean, I'm sure.
That was me dying because I'm not on the list.
Oh, I see the little fizzle out at the end. I see how that goes. Okay, so now that we got that stuff out of the way, why don't we head on over to the news? RPG news. All right, Eric, you're up.
All right. This was supposed to be last week, but I completely forgot about it. But comes out next week. There's going to be DLC for the Blasphemous game called The Star of Dawn, which is a free update, and it adds a new game plus and a few more things, like a new optional 3 penitence system, which makes it sound like it's like a 3 lives and then you're out type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't actually go into details. And then it has a few new storylines, which means you could probably do a few quests. That's probably nothing really big, but because there are a few areas in the game that felt like there should have been content there. But NPCs, bosses, and enemies and areas to discover. So they are making the map a little bit bigger too. So new executions and counterattack mechanic. So that's neat. So I guess maybe with the counter system, you can attack before having to parry, so that it's smoother. Because usually it's hard to actually trigger an execution once you do a parry.
Have you played this game, Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought it on the Switch.
Yeah.
And I reviewed it on the show.
Yeah,
and it says a remat map system with more fast travel locations, which is nice because the biggest problem I had with the original version of the game is that there was a fast travel, but you had to walk between great distances to get to all the fast travel locations, which was annoying.
Gotcha. Well, that's cool that they're doing an update on it, Eric. The game...
It also has new items and animations and level artworks, updated voice acting, because some of the voice acting is just weird.
Yeah.
And a full Spanish language option.
Ooh, I like that, man.
Which is good, because the Spanish developers made the game, so you think there'd be Spanish voice acting.
Yeah, you would think, man. It's a beautiful...
But balance changes, including buffed prayers, rosary bead, and sworn heart updates, plus enemy tweaks. So, yeah, some of those beads aren't as effective as they probably should be. So.
The game is gorgeous, man. It's a pixelized horror. It's supposed to be an opus. I don't think, if I remember your review, it didn't quite reach the heights that you expected, Eric, but it was still a solid game, if I remember correctly.
Hollow Knight's still a better Metroidvania.
Yeah. Looks good, and I'm glad that they're doing a free update on it. More developers need to do free updates for sure. Anything else on that, Eric?
No.
All right, Break, you're up.
Coming to us live from RPG site, Anti-RPG Moon launches for Nintendo Switch in the West on August 27th. Onion Games has announced that Moon, name of the game is Moon, will launch for Nintendo Switch on August 27th. What the idiots. Sometimes referred to as Moon Remix RPG Adventure, the game is an anti-RPG which originally released in Japan for the original PlayStation in 1997. So I'm going to go ahead and fucking skip ahead. In 1997 to now, legendary anti-RPG Moon launched in Japan, now revived by a team of its original creators. Find out why it became an instant call classic as Moon comes to Nintendo Switch in English for the very first time. What's an anti-RPG? Have you ever played an RPG and wondered, why is it okay that the hero is breaking into houses and stealing items from people's doors? That's part of the fun. Why is it okay that the hero is killing thousands of innocent monsters? Moon is a game about turning those tropes upside down and seeing what really happens behind the scenes of your favorite RPG video games. The story: one night under the silvery light of a full moon, a young boy is suddenly sucked through his TV and into a video game. A classic JRPG called Moon World. Following closely behind the game's brave hero, the boy begins his own journey to recover the world's missing moonlight by collecting love. Love. As Moon World's hero loots and levels up by cutting down monsters for experience points.
By love.
As heroes do.
Yeah, by love they mean demon sperm. That's what they mean, Break.
Oh, I thought it meant like he was going from town to town banging every girl he could.
That's what I'm saying. Demon sperm, man.
Oh, Shulip has a similar plot line, but the idea is to kiss people.
Oh no, this one there's full insertion with this one. As heroes do. The boy releases their souls and collects their love. Moon is not a game where you fight to level up. Your own progress comes by gathering lost love.
I say kiss, but it's more of a smooch.
But, what about finger banging? As you explore the world, you meet a crazy cast of weird and wonderful NPCs. Observe their strange habits and daily routines by visiting them at different times and days of the week, and learn their secrets to uncover even more lost love. Now, please open the door. Key features: conquer a game with a clear conscience, as in this anti-RPG. Save the monster's souls. Follow the real-time daily lives of Moonworld NPCs, day and night, all week long. Collect dozens of Moon discs containing original songs and choose your own favorite background music. Ooh, that's interesting. And as I said for the third fucking, or as I'm going to say for the third time, this will be out on August 27th.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a a cool concept for a video game. I think the finger bang is the summons break. Just like, just to let you know.
Oh, you finger bang a monster? Or you finger bang a woman to summon a monster? Or you finger bang a monster to summon a woman?
No, yeah, you finger like you summon a monster to finger bang whatever, So
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's non-binary break. So you got to include everybody. Freak Five says it would be alien sperm. He's technically an alien on that world, leaving his alien sperm in the women of Moon World.
Only he can't impregnate anyway because their DNA is too different.
Thank God.
That's
the last thing we need more is the uncared for or like unwanted children across the galaxy.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy's just going around spreading his seed like he's fucking.
Unless they're all like Asari or something, and they just will people to existence by the act of merging their minds together.
Yeah. Speaking of merging,
this guy's Wilt Chamberlain of the galaxy.
Yeah, bullshit. I call bullshit on that Wilt Chamberlain claim, man.
Him and Ric Flair and there's another guy that said it like, I banged thousands. Yeah, right. Sure.
Yeah. You know how many women a day you'd had to get that done, dude? Come on, man. Yeah. Okay. This next story comes to us from RPGsite.net. Disgaea 4 complete launches for Steam and Xbox Game Pass. So there you go. There you go, Break. Fall 2020. I don't think I need to say more than that. Everybody knows. Everybody listening to this show should know what Disgaea is. It's I did give it a go. I think Disgaea is like a good entry point for strategy RPGs. So if you're not into strategy RPGs, you should give this. I had a decent time with it. I'm not a big strategy guy, but this is a good series and a lot more. The themes in this game are a lot more adult than what the characters show. So it's a really good strategy RPG for sure. Disgaea 4 on the Xbox Game Pass. So there you go. There you go, man. Are you happy?
Only for PC though, which is weird. It's like,
Yeah. Freak says how he could have banged thousands of women, but how many did he satisfy? I don't even think it like. Wilt Chamberlain said he banged 10,000 women. I don't think that's. I mean, there's no way. There's just no way, man. Like honestly, like even with his celebrity, he didn't bang no 10,000 women. It's just a false claim, man. I think a lot of times people inflate those numbers quite a bit, man. But I agree with you, man. How many did he satisfy? Probably none, to be honest. Maybe a few. Okay, Eric, next story, please.
Next story is...
You just stick it in for a second and pull it out and then be done. It's like, that's one. Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, this from RPG site Dreamscaper launches for Steam Early Access on August 14th. Afterburner Studios has announced that action RPG roguelike Dreamscaper will launch for Early Access on the 14th, and planned to be in early access for 6 to 12 months, and they plan to bring the game to Nintendo Switch sometime in the future. And it's a part RPG and part life simulation where you play as Cassidy, a woman trapped in a deep depression. The game has players controller within her dreams to take on nightmares as well as living day-to-day life in her waking life.
Interesting concept. I'm looking at the trailer now. It looks really good. So I'd say give this one a try if you have a Switch or Steam. So
also, I don't remember too many RPGs actually dealing with someone who is going through depression. So.
Yeah, I can't remember any, to be honest with you. Wyland is in rare form, as he always is. He's in chat. He says, welcome to chat, Wyland. He says, y'all just mad you're not part of that 10,000. Wyland, are you really trying to like get an exile every time? Like the past, I'm remembering last week, like I think you won last week. You and Freak were like neck and neck. I can't remember who won the Exile Challenge last week, but I think you're winning. You're exiled, you son of a bitch. You know, Wyland exiled me on Twitter. I couldn't believe it.
Saw that.
It was funny. Break. I think you need to do the next story, but I think
I'm having trouble loading my stories right now.
I'll do it. Eric skipped a story, so I'll go ahead and do that.
I can't even in the chat right now. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, the Private Division teams with Moon Studios to make an action RPG.
That's right. I got confused with the Moon article. I was like, wait.
Yeah. So here we go. Take-Two's publishing arm for indie scale titles has announced that they have signed a new publishing agreement with Moon Studios, the guys behind Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori of the Will-O-Wisp. Private Division has also signed publishing agreements with developers League of Geeks and Roll7. So they're currently working on an action RPG, something spotted last year. So there you go. That's it's always good when publishers can.
I doubt it'll have the budget that something like Outer Worlds did, but
yeah,
it'll
doubtful.
Be interesting
But
to see what they do.
They've got talented people, and they could do GoFundMe's. I don't know if you guys saw that. The guys that did Sweet Coden, they raised their money, man, big time. I forget what the name of that game was called, but I don't know. It's
called the Euden Chronicle.
Yeah. Frank was the old man in the corner. Oh, Jesus Christ. Freak 5-Year Exile 2.
Technically, it's Euden Chronicle, 100 Heroes, which is being their cheeky way of saying we can't do point 108, otherwise we might get sued.
Yeah, exactly. So, good on them for making their thing. Won't get that many comments from me tonight at work, Wyland says. Well, thankfully. Yeah, Wyland's at work. Thanks for joining anyways, Wyland. Really appreciate it. But I don't know if you heard the announcements earlier, but got some cool stuff coming down the pipe on RPGrinders. So, okay. Break, did you get your stuff going?
No, I am still having trouble here.
Okay.
I do not know what's going on.
It's
I
okay.
can't get in the chat. I can't get anything to load.
Okay. I'll go ahead and do this next story. This comes to us from RPG site. Phantasy Star Online 2 launches for Steam on August 5th alongside Episode 4. So I know we've had plenty of stories on this, so I'm not going to get too much into it.
Do all the game playing you can to get in before New Genesis comes out.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. Eric, let's go on with the next story.
From RPG site, we've got another turn-based tactical mech RPG called Dual Gear.
Ooh.
Releasing for Steam Early Access on July 29th, and it's also planned for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch next year.
Yeah, it looks cool.
A Thailand-based development team at Orbital Speed Studio, and they had to apparently do multiple Indiegogo campaigns to get it cleared.
Yeah.
So they must have failed quite often.
Yeah. Well, it looks good. A Thailand-based. How often do you hear that? And tactical mechs. This is right up Break's alley, man. Like Break.
It sounds like it could be like. It's like their solution to the BattleTech game that came out that apparently wasn't very good.
Yeah. Graphically it doesn't look the greatest, but maybe the gameplay just blows everybody's socks off. And
I don't know. Good. People have been starved for like a front mission type game for a long time, since Square won't do a proper one. And every other attempt at like a spin-off is from failure.
Yeah. No, this looks good. It looks promising, so give those guys a chance. I'll go ahead and do the next story. This comes to us from RPGsite.net. Labyrinth of Galleria, Coven of Dusk, set to release on November 26th in Japan for PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation gasp Vita. Can you believe that? They're still doing that.
I doubt that when this becomes localized, they'll just do the Switch version port instead.
Yeah. Dungeon's in chat. Well, welcome to chat, Dungeon. He said, did someone say tactical mechs? Yes, Dungeon. And a Thailand developer at that, man? That was really... that's very intriguing, man.
Although I looked at some of the phrasings of some of the words on the press release, and it sounds like it's not clean English. It's like...
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Freak5 says, Break needs to use that excuse when Frank wants him to read a story that he's going to fuck up names. Is that true, Break? Like, Are you?
I'm gonna throw something in half a minute. I'm irritated right now.
It's all good, man. I got you covered, man. I'll do this last story from Siliconera. Fake Cyberpunk 2077 beta emails are being sent. Ooh, this is no good. There's an alert to be extra cautious online as fake emails have been sent on behalf of Cyberpunk 2077, apparently. CD Projekt Red, the game developer, confirmed this is an issue and told people not to believe its contents. This also means anyone who receives the email should not provide any personal information or click any links. In the alert, CD Projekt Red reminded people to look closely at any emails they might receive should someone receive any actual information on a possible Cyberpunk 2077 beta or news in general. Should come from the address that will end in cdprojektred.com. So be really careful out there, guys. Don't give people information that they don't need. Break in his mind.
This will be easy for me to avoid. To see Project Red would never email me.
Yeah. Break in his mind. I don't know how to say that out loud. My computer won't load the story. I see where you're going, Freak. That makes sense, Freak. Like, if I was Break, I might try the same type of deal. So, all right, that's the news for today, y'all. I that's the first time I've done the last news story in a long time. No homie discounts. I know Sony has a 50% off sale, which some of the games are more than 50% off, but a lot of the titles we've talked about on here 100 times. Same thing with the Xbox. They have a sale going on as well. Breakman, should I play your music?
Yeah. What the fuck? Why is this not? God damn it!
Maybe I shouldn't play your music, man.
No, I got it on my phone. It's cool.
Okay. All right, dear Breakman, what do we got?
Yeah, I wasn't trusting the computer, so I got ahead and got my phone out and figured I'd go with that. We talked earlier about
Wyland says laughs and Kevin Bacon.
It's a language now?
Kevin Bacon is everything.
Eric. I apologize so many times. I have sacrificed so many young children for him. I don't know what else I have to do.
Yeah, I don't know either, man.
I mean, there are families that are just destroyed right now because of my actions, and all for him. Anyway, we were talking earlier about underscore on Twitter. Shit. On Twitter at toy_open. Sorry, I'm just really flustered right now.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
He actually sent us a Dear Breakman, and I thought I was gonna have to explain it, but you said he's a long-time listener, so okay, cool. I don't have to, because he sent me a question that sounded really serious, and I'm just like, wow, we're gonna, I might have to explain to him how this works.
Right.
or he might hate me. So anyway, he says, Dear Breakman, have you ever ghosted someone or been ghosted by someone? Did you ever find out the reason they ghosted you, or did you ghost them?
What is the technical definition of ghosting? Break first.
Well, have you ever seen the movie Ghostbusters?
Yes.
Okay, well, there's a scene in it where Ray is dreaming about having sex with a ghost.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's what this means, right?
I'm pretty sure that's not it, man. But it's like...
It's not about having sex with ghosts?
No, it basically, from what I gather, it's like, leading someone on and then you just totally diss them by not talking to them.
Oh, you mean like how I treat women? Use them for a couple weeks and then they try and contact me and I'm dead or my phone number's changed, something like that.
Yeah, pretty much like that,
I mean, it's not my fault that I get tired of them. It's their fault. So I have to move on.
Break is, you're pretty popular in chat, man. Dungeon is laughing at you. And Wyland says, for Break, it's called A Stir of Echoes. So there you go. All right, what do you got?
Okay, so let me see here. So you're sure it doesn't involve ghost sex at all?
No.
Like, what was Demi Moore doing with shit? What's his name?
Patrick
Roadhouse
Swayze.
Guy. Yeah, Patrick Swayze. Wasn't that ghost sex? Weren't they doing that?
Yeah.
Wasn't that ghosting?
No, I think we're on a different different
Okay.
kind of
Well,
level there, man.
okay, let me see here. So,
it was like similar to the sex that they did in the VR and Demolition Man.
Yeah.
the worst sex ever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let's see here. So, as far as being ghosted,
If you've
no,
struggled
nobody
for
would ever
years
dare
to lose
ghost
stock-
me. They know I would stalk them.
Yeah.
I meant, no, I mean, what was that? What were we talking about again? This is what you were queuing up,
Yeah, exactly.
you son of a bitch. What? Paige is not responding. I'm gonna have to reboot my computer to be able to do anything.
Just keep it on there, man. We'll be good, man. We'll be good.
Anyway, so let me see here. So what about you, Eric? How many people have you ghosted? It's
Are you talking about like just running away and just never answering their calls?
Yeah,
again?
something like that.
like, yeah, you bang them a couple times and then you drop them off on the corner and then
Never, because I've never been in a relationship.
Right. No.
well, how many ghosts have you banged?
Ghost?
Probably 0 too.
Oh, you
Oh,
think, okay.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm not quite
like
sure.
in Ghostbusters, I'm pretty sure Ray didn't ghost sex anybody because he was dreaming.
That's a good dream.
Yeah. So the answer is none from Eric, and I'm gonna say none from me too. I'm not that way, you know. I just wouldn't do that. Like I'd rather just you know. They're talking in chat. Freak Five says so
I
when
hate having to apologize and the awkward pauses and all that other stuff. It's just much easier to just disappear or claim you're gay.
you're
that
such a
works, too.
coward, Breakman. You're such a coward.
What?
Freak Five says so when Break talks about Mrs. Breakman, it's a different woman every time. That's interesting, Freak Five. That's like, wow. Maybe Freak Five's onto something. Maybe Break is like the ultimate gigolo, man. Time Lapse Gamer says when he switches hands for a week. Welcome to chat, Time Lapse Gamer. Appreciate you joining on in.
No, Mrs. Breakman is a ghost. That's why I was asking.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well,
what
there you
we're
go.
talking about. It's kind of ghost sex. It's ghosting.
Exactly. Okay. Anything else? Break?
That's not even cool. I shouldn't even joke about that.
What, having sex
yeah.
with Ghost?
Yeah, she might consider it cheating, and I might get in trouble for it. So.
Cheating. Oh boy, man.
Or are you
Okay.
very explicitly in a monogamous relationship, though?
Well, I mean, if you're standing there with your pants down and you look like you're thrusting in the midair, I mean, that's kind of. You can understand why she might be a little bit upset.
She would be upset for you fucking air. Really? Really, Breakman? You don't give
Well,
Miss...
I mean, like you're kind of getting off to it and you're making out with air and stuff like that.
I think she
What are
just...
you doing? Like you can't see this ghost here?
No, all you have to do is like have a threesome at point. Just have the
Oh,
ghost
there you
possess her,
go.
and then you all three can have a good time.
Ghost sex, man. Just give it the Western grip. Or have it give you the Western grip and everything will be okay, Break. You know what I'm saying?
Western ghost strip.
I think we got the title of the show, man. All right. Anything else, Break?
No, my recommendation is, yes, if anybody ever ghosts you, you hire an FBI agent, or no, I'm sorry, an FBI, what do you call this? A PI, like Magnum or something like that, and they'll find them for you.
Yeah.
And, if you get a real good one, they'll break them for you, too.
Yeah. If you're asleep, it isn't cheating, Freak Five says.
If you're asleep, then it's probably rape.
What the...
Ghost raping you.
Ghost raping you? Jesus, Eric. Where does your mind go, man? I think he's talking about dreaming, dude. Like, that's not cheating, dude. You don't have any control over that. Wyland says, just tell Mrs. Break that you're appeasing Lord Bacon. So there's your excuse. You got a built-in excuse, Break, man.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Anything else?
Just doing what my Lord and Master has told me to do today.
Fuck.
He's the savior of mankind, and I'm going to honor his wishes.
Yeah, she'd be like, your Lord and Savior told you to fuck the air? That's what he was saying? Really?
If Kevin Bagman told me to fuck the air, I'd fuck the air.
You'd have
Let's
to,
go
man.
bacon.
You'd have to. You must have pissed him off this week as well, man. Your computer issues.
No, I permanently pissed him off. No matter how many sacrifices I do, like it's just not enough.
Maybe it's one of those things, like, it's like like those philosophical questions about, like, if there is a hell, like, isn't there an end to punishment? Like, don't, like, even the worst, like person in the world, like, I don't know, like Hitler, like at some point, like, the punishment ends, right? Like after like a million years or something. I mean, how much punishment can one person take? You know what I'm saying? So, okay.
Yeah.
Anything else, Break?
Ghosting for life.
Thanks to Tony.
I'm stretching her.
Thanks to Tony for sending in that Dear Breakman. See, that's the spirit of the show, dude. You send in questions and we answer them.
And we save the world one tweet at a time. And today we saved ghosts. So
right.
You're welcome, Ghost World.
Let's see if we can save people by telling them what we've been playing.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Inquiring minds want to know what you've been playing, Breakman.
Mostly Star Wars Battlefront 2. Just it's the same thing over and over again. I mean, shouldn't say it's the same thing over and over again because there's so many different like multiplayer types and stuff. But I mean, just still playing a shooter and playing the flying stages.
Yeah,
I'm doing the same things over and over again.
I had a lot of fun time with Battlefront 2, man. It got way too much hate. Like, I understood the hate at the beginning, but it became a much better game.
Yeah. Like
a way better game. But that's a fun game, man, for sure. I dig that game.
It's very good. And the other one on Final Fantasy 15, I've only got I think a few more dungeons left in the giant turtle before I go to the DLC. But I've been procrastinating on it because the last dungeon I did took me like 3 hours almost because there's no save at all in the damn dungeon.
Yeah.
If you want to start over.
Yeah.
Every fucking time you have to go all the way out. Not just of that dungeon, but out of the old dungeon you have to crawl through to get to that dungeon.
Oh, that sucks, dude.
Stupid. I don't understand why they designed it like that.
They don't have like a evac type spell that you could just use?
Yeah, you have one spell you can get out, is what I'm saying, but you have to start the whole dungeon over.
Oh, I gotcha. God, that sucks, dude.
I don't want to fucking do that every time. I don't know how far I am. There's no indication as to how deep I am in this dungeon, and there's no save, no temporary save, nothing.
Jeez, that sucks, man. Freak5 says, I would play a game called Ghostbangers. I've watched that movie, Freak5. Have you seen the movie, Ghostbangers? That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
Did you see the sequel, Ghostbangers in Paradise?
Ghostbangers in Paradise. I'm thinking of something different completely. Okay. Eric, what have you been playing, man?
I've been playing more Seventh Scarlet, and I got through the rest of the content, or the story-related content, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2. And then the only thing left for me would be to do single mode, but in order to get single mode, I have to beat the final episode with Just Sengetsu, which has proven difficult.
Oof. Okay.
And the endings you get for completing single mode with any given character aren't worth it, because they're like the old school congratulations, you beat the game on this difficulty messages.
That's like the worst, man. Or it's like the games like back on the Nintendo when you used to beat them and they used to have like a picture.
Thank you for playing.
Yep. Thanks for playing, and it would have a picture of your character or something.
Game over. Thank you for playing.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, games like Contra were pretty cool. That had a cool little ending, even though it was short. You like fly off the island and it blows up. That's some good shit. Freak5 says Ghostbangers.
Oh, if you want to make Curse of the Moon 2 even harder, there's a new patch coming that's going to be called Legend Difficulty.
Oh boy. Jesus Christ.
I'll have a review for that in a bit.
Okay. Freak5 says...
Other than that, I played Paper Mario the Origami King, and that's it.
Okay, cool. Freak5 says Ghostbangers into Hood. Yeah, I'd watch that too. Why not? All right, speaking of reviews,
So is this like
RPGrinders.
is this the Leprechaun of porn movies? Like there's just different ghost bangers in different situations. Is that what it is?
Yeah, ghost bangers in the hood, ghost bangers in space,
Yep.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Ghost
It's just
bangers
like-
go to the mall.
Is this like the XXX parody series based on Frighteners or something?
Yeah, exactly. You got it. You got it, Eric. There you go. Okay,
So,
Eric, you have a review. Speaking of Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2, your review.
Yeah, this is a follow-up to Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, which itself was something that was initially created to tide people over until Ritual of the Night was to come out. And it was a stretch goal that they met very early. So that got released on all platforms, and I got
that
the
was
Switch
fun.
version. Yeah, and then they made a sequel about, let's see, a little over a year later. So it's been out for the last month and a half, and it's a very much improved version of the sequel. But like the soundtrack, it's good, but it's kind of, let's see, it's about on the same level of the quality of the soundtrack that transitioned from Mega Man 9 to Mega Man 10, because that was also made by Init Creates. But those games were anyway.
Yeah, like 10's soundtrack was good, but it wasn't memorable. Whereas 9 had extremely memorable tracks, like Splash Woman Stage, for instance.
Oh, the tracks in this game are more memorable, but there are only a handful of them that actually are.
Mm.
But most of the memorable tunes in the first Curse of the Moon were for remixes that were in Ritual of the Night to begin with.
Yeah.
But Ritual of the Night soundtrack's fantastic. You should listen to that. Anyways, in this game, instead of Miriam, Alfred, and Jeeble, you get Dominique and Richard and Hachi, which is a dog who's driving a mech.
Ooh, cool. I always like that name, Dominique, man. I think that's
Anyways,
such a cool name.
Dominique uses spears, kind of like Air Up a Car, and even has a special weapon that lets her launch into the air, and which is used in a couple places to let you get to platforms you otherwise wouldn't be able to get to. But other than that, it's not really the useful of an ability, and she uses like other magic skills. And then there's Richard, who fires with the gun, and the advantage with him is he can shoot from anywhere across the screen, but he's got a slow reload rate, unless you get the power up that lets him do rapid fire dual wielding.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a buck that just consumes it as long as it's active, your MP supply or whatever. But and then Hachi just punches things. But Hachi also can,
Hachi Smash.
he can also float in the air, and yes, he can do a stomp attack.
Hachi Smash!
Because he can actually duck and hit something because his short range. So he just crushes it with his feet. But he also has the advantage of crossing ice without any problem. And there's a couple other damage tiles like poison swamps. But he can also turn invincible for a bit. And he's kind of like the Gebel of the group in that like he doesn't have special weapons and he just does that one thing where Gebel turns into a bat. But and lets you get to other places. But that's his ability. He can just make himself invincible. Kind of makes certain bosses trivial if you got enough weapon power. But after you beat the first episode, you unlock the second episode, and then if you do the second episode properly and get the Zenmato sword, you unlock the third scenario, which lets you play as the characters from the first game. And you gotta collect all the items and to go to the moon and defeat the real final boss. But
Go to the
there is a special extra episode where if you don't get the Zanmato, you have to rescue Dominique, and then they join you anyway.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
the game's just as fun, if not more. And I like the idea of the single mode, and It's really well thought out. Level design, almost all the weapon items that you can get in the weapon candles or whatever they are in this game. Actually, the lanterns, not candles, but are placed in such a way that usually the character that you're currently playing as, it will be a weapon that will be useful in that area.
Yeah.
And there's other neat little tricks like that. So I watched a bunch of speedruns on single mode because I didn't want to do it myself. But I'm giving this game a 9 out of 10.
Ooh, okay.
Wow.
That's a good score, Eric. 9 out of 10. Check it out. What platform is that? Just exclusively on Okay, it's on all of them. Okay, cool deal.
No Stadia release yet.
Yeah, Stadia gives a shit, man. That thing's gonna be gone by next year, man.
I don't think it's on GOG or Epic Game Store yet either, but it's probably gonna happen.
Yeah. Okay. Bang the ghost slowly. Time lapse gamer. They're having fun with the ghost banger memes in chat. It's so fun. What else we got? Fast and the Furious ghost bang. Freddy got ghost banged. I think is the best one so far from Freak 5. Bang the ghost slowly. Time lapse gamer. You only ghost bang twice, Breakman. Really? All right. Anybody got?
You said 007 Ghostbanger, so I was thinking like the Bond movies.
Oh yeah, there you go. Breaker, Eric. Anybody got a heist-capade this week? All right, let's move on.
I guess we do have one.
Okay.
The crazy evangelicals talking about demon sperm.
Oh God, yeah, that's definitely a heist-capade, man. I don't even know what to say about that. Maybe we'll talk about that a little later. Freak 5 says.
Yeah.
Freak 5 says, I know what you ghost banged last summer. Dr. Ghostbanger Dungeon says. Jesus Christ, you guys are insatiable, man. Okay, let's move on to everybody's favorite segment.
What is it?
Stinko of the week.
Breakman, you're up.
I got a couple of them. I'll go with the less serious one first.
Okay.
Before we really get into the one. Okay. You and me talked about it last week and how stupid it is in Major League Sports. Major League Baseball has decided to pump in crowd noise.
Oh my God, yes.
Stupid it was before we really had a chance to experience it because baseball season started last Friday.
Right.
After a week of dealing with it, it's fucking worse than I'd ever assumed it would have been.
Yeah.
It's absolutely terrible in every way. Sometimes I can't even hear the announcers.
Yeah.
And it's the same, like, basic crowd noise over, like, repeated throughout the whole game, you know? It's just... Ugh.
I can't think of one person that likes canned laughter for like shows, like TV shows, like everybody. But we kind of learned to accept it, and I think baseball was like.
It's weird. They have like virtual races, so why can't we have virtual baseball games?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It just I don't get it. Like the players in the field aren't listening to anything. We should get the same deal, right? Like, who cares about the crowd noise? There's no crowd there. We all know that. You know what I think is even worse than that? Those stupid cutouts. I don't know if you saw those, Breakman. That to me is even worse, man. Like having the cut. Like, I saw somebody hit a home run in one of the games, and the home run hit one of those cardboard pieces, and I'm like. Oh boy.
It'd be funnier if it were the team saying, hey, we don't want to play during a pandemic. Let's just sabotage ourselves.
Yeah. Freak 5 says one of his stinkos, the baseball stadium near his house has been fucking packed all week. For what?
What?
Time Lapse Gamer says, I want them...
You went out. You went out like for a moment there, Frank.
Oh, did I go out? I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Freak said one of his stinkos, the baseball stadium near his house has been fucking packed all week. I don't understand that, Freak 5. What's going on there? Time Lapse Gamer says, I want them to CGI in the crowd from the Star Wars pod races and then have Tusken Raiders sniping base runners.
That'd be hard to do real time though. So.
That actually would be a good idea, man. Just like have all kinds of CGI instead of cardboard cutouts and.
Maybe
That
if
would
they
be
were
an
holograms.
awesome video game. Star Wars baseball. Like, we'd have
Oh,
Tusken
shit,
Raiders,
yeah,
like,
that would be
sniping
cool.
Base runners and shit.
Hell
That'd be fucking-
yeah.
Anybody remember Base Wars?
Oh, I love Base Wars. That was fucking great.
You guys.
I never finished a game by actually playing baseball. I always finished the game by destroying the opponents.
It's actually a good
Like
idea,
little-
time lapse
It's kind of
gamer.
like Super Spike V-Ball, where you can just basically make the team forfeit by
No,
killing everybody.
That shit's cool as hell. Like to have
awesome.
like a Star Wars baseball game, like thing, and you could do like special things. Like Han Solo could like I don't know, like shoot somebody with his taser or something, and like somebody could do like if like Jabba.
Han Solo shoots first, so like when the pitch is coming at him,
Right, he
like,
shoots the pitcher
He hits
first.
the pitch before he hits the ball before the pitch even goes out.
Exactly. Or like
Flies right out of the pitchers.
Jabba can put you in carbonite and shit like that. That shit would be cool as hell. There was a fun game on the GameCube. I think it was Mario Baseball. That was fun as hell. Like why can't
Hey, if Han shot first, does that make him force sensitive?
if he shot first, did that make it? No, it just means he has
He
better
knew it was
intuition.
gonna happen, so he did it ahead of time.
Yeah, exactly. That's psychic talk there, which we'll be talking later on. All right, Breakman, what you got next?
Okay, now let's go on to the more serious one. The President of the United States, again, with his distraction bullshit, talking about, to distract from the fact that we're now over 150,000 dead Americans in just a matter of months. He's now talking about delaying the elections,
Yeah.
which he doesn't have the ability to do. But
No.
then again, there's a lot of things he hasn't had the ability to do, but nobody stopped him.
Right.
Which is just driving me fucking crazy. Is like the complete lack of accountability. Just sorry.
Yeah, no, Breakman, I'm glad you brought this up because if you go listen to the archives of Grinders, I said from the beginning that Trump would try to beat a dictator or become a dictator.
Yeah, he did.
He's one step away. If this election gets, we're actually 2 steps away. If the election gets delayed, you might as well say it's going to be delayed forever.
Well, the thing is, like, if he was able to actually delay the election, his term still ends on January 20th.
It wouldn't matter if this next scenario unfolds the way that I think it
Right.
might, Breakman. And it's a grim reminder. He sent in a bunch of federal agents to Portland, and that's scary enough as it is, Breakman. Can you imagine if he sent the military in to do his dirty work? Who's there to stop him? Do you think our police force would stop the military? Of course not. Our police force is a bunch of cowards. They cower by their guns when it comes to protesters. But if a military force were to come in and say, you know what, the election is delayed indefinitely, there ain't nobody that could stop it. Nobody in the world, man. Nobody in the world is going to stand up against the military. You could protest all you want. You can, be out. I mean, we see it right now. I mean, the feds are like shooting, people with rubber bullets. They're doing tear gas. Which, by the way, is illegal even in war. Time-lapse gamer says NATO shows up in Portland. Then doubtful. Time-lapse gamer. The military would take care of NATO like in a few seconds. Like it wouldn't even be pretty. Not all week, but the 2 or 3 times I drove by, there were actual games. That's so weird.
Like I've seen people playing, but the fact that there are stands that are packed and stuff like that, like that's more dangerous.
Yeah, I think
they shouldn't be playing games to begin with because you're still interacting with, several people.
Oh, this is a good theory by Freak5. He says, I think this is why he has started wearing a mask. He can't say it's too dangerous to have an election at the same time that he's saying COVID isn't that dangerous. Yeah, see, he's fine. It's a fine line there, Freak5, for sure. But here's the thing, Break and Eric and everybody listening. We're 2 steps away. He's already got a bunch of yes men that will go along with him, and the Democrats are weak as hell. So
yeah, the Democrats are very weak, and part of the problem of him actually having a chance to win the election is things like he's rigging the post office.
Yep.
He's literally trying to make it so mail-in voting will show up too late to be counted.
Yeah, which is sad because
It's not sad, it's scary.
It is scary. And
he is attacking the basic foundation of our country.
Yep. And this is something that I warned about 4 years ago, guys. So this is not, we're 2 steps away. It's delaying the election / military backing Trump, which is not too far-fetched. I mean, he's got the feds already doing his bidding in Portland, Seattle, New York. I saw a disturbing video of New York, and I talk about how the cops are cowards, and people can give me shit for that all fucking day long, and I don't care because this is a prime example. Instead of protecting its people like they're supposed to protect and serve, the police
We'd have to get another country to actually liberate our country.
Yeah. Well, that's not going to happen because our military is the greatest in the world, man. Our budget is far outweighs anybody, So here's the thing. I saw this video in New York, and it's been happening for a while. This isn't the first instance of the feds, unmarked car, grabbing somebody, a woman, I believe, a trans woman, off of the streets and into a van, and the cops were surrounding. A bunch of cops on bikes showed up and surrounded that car so that nothing could happen to those feds. And so if you think the police are any salvation, you got another thing coming. We live in a police state. That's just, it's sad, but that's how things are. I mean, I saw videos of, you'd be surprised of the videos that you can see, man, like of people just being kidnapped off the street. Nobody knows where they're at or what they're doing. It's sad. Breakman, I'm glad you brought this up, man, because it's scary, and it's happening. And that's how fascism starts. It slowly creeps into the psyche of people, and it just grips. It's what happened with Hitler. I'm not saying that.
Not enough people fought back. Not enough people are being loud or were being. I think there are a lot now.
Yeah,
a lot of people who are very vocal, and there is a lot of pushback.
I will say that you're right, Breakman. There is pushback even on the Republican side. I saw the representative from Wyoming. I can't remember his last name, but he was like, "We're not delaying the election," because they know the repercussions of that and how serious it would be. So,
it might be bad form for me to say this, but maybe we should stop doing the Black Lives Matter protests and start doing fuck this fascism protests.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a Herculean effort on everybody's part, including the military.
And it can't be everybody within the military is on board with Trump. Like they should just not do what Trump wants.
Well, here's the thing. The people in the military that aren't backing Trump would quit the military before they did anything like that. But then you lose your power. You know what I mean? It's going to take like generals to say, we're not, you're going to have to leave, Trump. You lost the election. It's time to go. And I don't even know if Trump's going to lose the election. That's the whole thing. Breakman, you've already outlined how he's working on destroying the mail-in ballots. So
not just that, he's working on getting rid of the UPS entirely.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's put a guy in charge of the post office who is a major donor to his campaign. Yeah,
and a major investor.
Do what Trump wants.
He's a major investor in like UPS and FedEx and stuff like that. So the USPS has been under a lot of strain, man. Like
they're treating it like they're treating it like it's a business where it's not really a business. It is a
service.
That's not the word I was looking for. Service is a great word, but that's not the one I was looking for.
Yeah.
But it's something that it's like the water or electricity or something like that. Like those are mandatory things. Mm-hmm. We don't pay for the mail. I mean, except for taxes, but you know what I mean. We don't. There's not like a bill we pay weekly to get our mail or something like that.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Like, they've been. I mean, Congress has tried to destroy the USPS over and over and over again because of because of the financial incentive to back like FedEx and USPS and DHL and all that stuff. Dungeon says USPS is really in trouble though. It's running out of money and can't keep up.
We don't fund the USPS. Okay.
Indirectly, we do. It's run like a business. It really is run like a business.
Yeah,
but
the problem is like they're worried about, like as he said, they're not making money. They're running out of money, which is true. But they're supposed to be a utility. Was the word I was looking for.
Yeah. There you go.
They're considered a utility.
Yeah.
Like it's something. Mail service is fundamental to the American way of life.
Yeah, Dungeon says, but
and
that's
he's right that they're losing money, but that's because of how poorly they're run.
No, there's a real reason for it. You know, the reason for it is because Congress passed laws, and I think Dungeon just put in there, but they forced them to pay billions into a pension.
Yeah.
Not only that, they said that there was a law that they passed that capped how much they could charge. Which is ridiculous. You wouldn't do that to a private entity. You wouldn't go to FedEx and say, there's a cap on how much you can charge to send a package. Maybe there should be a cap on FedEx and Amazon and all these other places. Maybe that would help, or an excise tax, which you can't pass on to consumers and, stuff like that. But
when I say how it's run, I'm not saying like the postal service itself. I'm saying the leadership they put in there now, but I mean things like all the junk mail that gets. We're paying people to deliver a lot of junk mail, for instance. Like there are things that need to stop.
Yeah. Freak says, from what I've heard from postal workers, it's the only part of the government that makes a profit. That was true years ago, but it's not true now, Freak 5. They're bleeding. They're hemorrhaging. Dungeon says, Frank is spot on. You could just leave it at that, Dungeon. We all know that. He says, USPS can't change what it charges unless Congress says so, which is ludicrous in my opinion. Private companies like FedEx and UPS can do whatever they want. That's true, and it's an unfair advantage. Like, and what's even sadder? It's sadder that those companies can use USPS and give them a set amount of money with no repercussion. It's fucking ridiculous. Like if UPS or if FedEx decides that they have too much, like they have an overload, they can just dump those off to USPS and make USPS do their work for them at pennies on the dollar, which is fucking ridiculous, man. It's stupid the way it's run. But anything else, Breakman, on that?
No, like it's completely ridiculous the world we live in right now.
Yeah, it's sad.
We have an insane man running the country. Things are falling apart around us. People are dying in record numbers. I mean, we've lost more lives, and we've never lost this many lives in this short a period of time.
I see. That's the thing. People were saying it's just like the flu. You're talking about COVID, right? Break.
Yeah.
It's more than double.
It's worse than the flu. It's worse than war.
It's
made worse by complete inaction of the flu.
Yeah, and it's way more contagious than any flu that I've ever in my lifetime. I've seen nothing like this, and I've been through SARS and what's that other one, MERS, and all those,
and the Black Plague. And,
oh, shut your mouth, you son of a bitch. Yeah, this thing is as
malaria.
bad.
What was that one thing that happened
Spanish
in
flu?
Egypt?
Oh, the locust and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that stuff. Yeah,
Dungeon says, unfortunately, USPS problems are being leveraged into excuses against things like mail-in ballots. It is sad, Dungeon. It sucks, man.
And now they're trying to conflate that, like there's two different types of mail-in ballots. Like what's this bullshit?
Well,
like,
there is absentee and
absentee and mail-in ballots are different. What the fuck are you talking?
No.
Oh my god, I can't believe there are people that believe anything that comes out of your fucking mouth.
Technically, they are two different things because an absentee ballot is like if you're at the poll and they can't get to you, they'll give you an absentee ballot, or if they can't find you on the roll, they'll give you an absentee ballot. But I don't know. It just the murder of all the firstborn.
But I mean, they're still through the mail, and they're still like.
Yeah,
there's
it's
no
still
difference in the security of either one of them.
No,
They're both just exactly secure.
And instead of like them saying in the middle of a pandemic, this is the way things are going to get done, it's just sad, man. We should be thinking of things like this. We should be doing this, all the time. Paper ballots,
when they talk about like the 60,000, or I mean, sometimes 60,000 people die from a flu. If we were wearing masks,
they wouldn't.
We would have had a lot less than 60,000 deaths.
Yeah, we might think of the flu as something of the past if we all wore masks, I mean, maybe it got to the point where everybody wore like N95 masks, like if we had the infrastructure to do it. Like Bernie Sanders proposed like everybody getting 3 pair, reusable masks. I mean, that's a nice thought and everything, but think about that. If that were to be true, if everybody was wearing a mask all the time, we'd be way less sick. And I mean, it would be just like normal. Like you'd just go to the store, you'd wear. I'm gonna, after this thing is done, I'm wearing a fucking mask. I don't care. I'm wearing a mask. I'm not fucking around no more. I'm going to.
Especially with as many people as don't get vaccinated as it is.
Yeah, no, I'm wearing a mask, man, and I'm being more conscious of touching my face. I'm washing my hands more often. I'm taking sanitizer everywhere I go. Like this is.
I might have problems with Asian countries' collectivism, making them doing, making their society basically like all about conformity to like the nth degree, which is worrisome in its own right. But because they have even just a sliver of that, people don't care too much about their own egos, and they actually worry about their fellow man.
Yeah. Freak 5 is exiled. He says, is it worse than the Great Flood? Frank, you son of a bitch, you're exiled. Speaking of COVID, Eric, you have a stinko.
Yeah. Dogs can get COVID.
Yeah, I know. This is sad, man.
This is from NationalGeographic.com. As soon as it loads. Buddy, the first dog to test positive for COVID-19 in the U.S., has died. Although the German Shepherd likely had cancer, his health records show how little we know about animals with coronavirus. But thing is, the virus like basically makes you immune compromised, so that probably contributed to its death.
Yeah, I mean there might have been underlying conditions, but it's a good stark reminder, of humans.
And it's mutating, so now it's affecting other than just humans.
Yeah.
Cats can also get it.
Yep, cats can get it.
Yeah, but I think cats are, for now, at least for now, we know that they're just carriers. I don't think they can actually get sick from it.
Yeah. Dungeon Buster.
If it mutates, we don't. I mean, like you said, for now, but the way this thing's mutated in such a short period of time.
Breakman, you're exiled.
Viruses evolve at like 1,000 of the rate that humans do. So
Breakman's exiled. He typed in chat. Frank
it only takes a few months for viruses to mutate.
Yeah, Frank was the one that decided that unicorns couldn't ride on the ark with his buddy Noah, and then Dungeon. You're borderlining, Dungeon. He says, wow, so mean, Frank. How dare you, Dungeon? How dare you? I'm not going to give you the exile, but still, how dare you? Yeah, this is sad. Like, if dogs can get it now, that tells you that this virus is mutating at a pace.
And then the dog can see on you.
And I tried to explain this to Bernie the other day. We were talking about this virus. What happens when the next virus comes through, the next COVID virus, the next coronavirus? If those two viruses,
they do have a dog virus face mask.
Yeah.
So.
If those viruses were to merge and create even a worse virus and mutate, like, I mean, we could be seeing something way worse than what we're even seeing now. And I think now is pretty bad. Now is really bad. So, not good news. You got anything else, Eric?
No, that's it.
Okay. My stinko this week goes to a quote-unquote feel-good story from Maine. I don't know if you guys saw this, but this reporter from Maine was all excited to tell everybody on her Twitter feed that, this feel-good story of an 84-year-old woman that was going back to work as a housekeeper. And I was thinking to myself, this is a feel-good story? We live in a country we live in a country where a woman that's 84 years old has to go back to work instead of just like living the twilight of her life, like in Cancun or Jamaica or Florida or wherever the fuck or
I'll probably die on the job.
yeah, she'll probably die. That's the sad fucking thing. This woman is 84 years old and is probably gonna die, making someone's bed, and that's a feel-good story. Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
for the people who are making money off of her. At least.
Yeah, this is ridiculous, man. It's so stupid. Moral of the story: don't be frank at poker. How dare you? No, yeah, I'm good at poker, by the way. I'm actually a decent poker player. Yeah, that's a feel-good story, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, is this parody? Is this something that The Onion wrote? No, this was an actual main station. And in one of the comments, I was I was laughing because one of the comments said, "You guys got to be owned by Sinclair, right? Because nobody in their right mind would publish this story, Freak Five says another stinko starting on Monday. I have to start going to work at 10 a.m. Yeah, I know that's rough, man. You actually have to get up in the morning, instead of lounging around until noon or 1 or 2, in your boxers. You're actually going to have to do some work, Freak Five. You aren't better at poker than the unicorns. How dare you, Freak Five? 11 a.m., Freak Five? Okay. Yeah, that does suck, man, when your schedule gets changed, man. But at least you're working, Freak Five. At least you're a, quote, essential worker. God, I hate that stupid shit, man. Okay.
Reminds me of working at retail, having to be there at 10 o'clock in the morning or something.
I know, man. I think it should be. I think it should be a moratorium. Nobody starts work until 11, 12.
Today's the last day you can go to Taco Bell to get a quesarito if you wanted a quesarito, because they're getting rid of that stuff.
You know what? They got rid of my favorite thing of all time, the Mexi Melt, man. And I'm still salty about that, man. They need to bring the Mexi Melt back, but they need to charge.
They need to bring breakfast back.
No, they need to bring the Mexi Melt back, but they need to charge less. They need to put it on their dollar menu.
Dollar menu.
Yeah, put it on their dollar menu, and then you got a winner, man. People buy the shit out of that.
It's worth $1.
Yeah, exactly. They were charging three something for that. It's stupid. Okay, let's move on to.
Dude, what does my tattoo say?
Sweet! Sweeto of the week.
All right, Breakman, what's your sweeto? Did we lose Break? We must.
No, I hit the mute for a second.
Oh, okay.
My sweeto goes to, I guess, really the New York court system for basically treating Maxwell, whatever her first fucking name is. I don't give a shit.
Ghislaine.
No, she doesn't deserve it. For us to get it right.
Okay.
But for actually treating her like the piece of shit pedophile she is, and releasing all those documents, and it seems like they're going to go forward and everything they can against this evil piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, and now with the maybe it's getting a little bit more mainstream. I think a lot more people are hearing the name Clinton involved in it and such like that.
Oh yeah.
The other names.
A lot of the names are blacked out. I would love to know those names. We know some of them. We know Clinton's one for sure. We know Prince Andrew. But there's a bunch, man. Dershowitz, that worthless.
Oh, he is evil piece of shit.
Wyland says, honk that. I'd rather be at work at 6 a.m. Don't have to deal with people for half of my shift. There's thoughts to that, Wyland, but you need a job where you don't deal with people at all.
That's kind of like the opposite of what I had at the office. I was going in later than most people, so I would be there later than most people. By the time I left, it was last hour or two, it was pretty quiet. And
yeah.
it was kind of nice.
Yeah, it is nice not to deal with people for sure. Even though I'm kind of a people person, but yeah. All right.
The kind of work I do, it's really nice to have some privacy a lot of time, because you need to kind of focus and just there's spreadsheets and there's goddamn spreadsheets.
So many spreadsheets.
They're killing me.
All right. Anything else on that break?
No, it's a good start. Let's hope everything continues and that she doesn't, quote unquote, commit suicide.
Yeah, exactly. They are moving her around, which is a good thing, man. That might keep keep her.
Like I said, New York is taking this seriously, which I appreciate very much.
Yeah, hopefully nobody gets to her.
So
man.
far, it seems anyway.
Yeah. I mean, you can't put her in.
Just remember, today's also the last day before the mass evictions happen.
Yeah. Hey, everybody in chat, what do you guys want us to do for our bracket challenge for August? Do you guys want like the greatest TV show of all time, greatest movie of all time, greatest sci-fi movie? Like, what do you guys want? Eventually, we'll do games too. But what in chat? What's your vote? Because we need to know, because we're gonna start this next week, the bracket challenge. We're gonna do a new segment. Every week we'll whittle it down until we get a champion. So let us know what you want in chat there. All right, Eric, do you have a Sweeto?
No.
All right, I do. Bernie's getting a promotion, man. Speaking of essential workers, she's actually going to become a general manager.
Oh, that's good.
So she's
Cool.
that's really cool. I thought that was really cool, and congratulations to her. I think she might be listening. She's at work right now. So, all right.
Can she bring breakfast back?
Breakfast? I don't think they do breakfast, man. If you need a bracket made, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A team. You want to do something like top TV shows of all time, Dungeon? Is that what you're saying? Greatest Kevin Bacon movie. I don't. Is there 64 Kevin Bacon movies? It has to be something with 64. Greatest porn, Freak 5 says.
Oh
There's a
god
lot of
damn,
porn,
that's
that's true.
yeah. I was gonna say we never get to the end of that one.
Yeah, that one's greatest cam girl. Ooh, that's a good
Yeah,
one
but there's
too.
new ones like every day.
I know.
It's-
And I think it'd be easier to find the greatest worst porn.
Yeah, well, yeah. Tremors was a fun movie, man. So let us know in chat, like, because we're gonna be doing this starting next week. I'm leaning towards like greatest TV show of all time. See how that goes. We could do genres. Sweetos starting Monday. He gets to leave at 6 p.m. Well, that's cool. That's cool, Freak 5. So, like maybe we could do like greatest sci-fi movie, greatest, I don't know, greatest sitcom, whatever you guys want. Let us know. Like greatest RPG of all time. We'll eventually do that. Like there's tons of things, but we need to know. JRPG. I mean, there's definitely 64 JRPGs. We could do that easily. The original was great. It also had Remo Williams in it.
He was also in the sequel.
Yeah. Oh, what was that guy's name? Fred Ward, right?
Yeah, he was sort of the sequel, and then the third one they changed it to the Burt character, which was the guy from Growing Pains.
Gross, Michael Gross, I think.
Yeah, Michael Gross, that's right.
Yeah. Greatest Nintendo 64 games. Ooh, okay.
Ooh, I like
Yeah.
that one.
There's at
Okay.
least 64 of those.
Okay. Then.
I like this one.
Okay. Then
I think
that's.
we do this one. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I'm down. Greatest Nintendo 64 games, because there are plenty of Nintendo 64 games. So we'll do it. Break, you and I and Eric, and I think we can do that. I think that's a no-brainer. That's pretty easy, right? We can get that together. Well, that's what it'll be. The greatest Nintendo 64 game of all time, all through August. We're going to do that. So next week we'll start with the top 64, and by the time we're done with that, we'll be down to 32 the following week, so on and so forth, until we get down to the final, I think 16 for the final week, and then we'll just declare champion on the last Friday of the month. So that would be cool. We're going to do that. Greatest Nintendo 64 game next month. If you guys have one that you want put on the list, go ahead and at RPGrinders on Twitter. Let us know what game should be in the top 64, Nintendo 64 games, and we'll go ahead and do that. So that should be a ton of fun. All right, let's move on to...
It's a free-for-all! Little baby! Yeah, it's a free-for-all! Wow! Suck it!
All right, free for all this week. We've got a couple of things. I think we got time to get to both of them. But Eric, there was a reason why you brought up the first one. It's psychic tarot readings. Why did you want to bring this up, Eric?
Because we haven't done it in a long time. And I think in this vulnerable time, people might be turning to them to
Ooh.
alleviate some of their concerns.
Yeah.
So they're basically wasting money.
Uncertainty is what you're talking about, Eric. And uncertainty brings about the worst and best in society. And this is definitely a prime example. Psychic tarot readings, if anybody doesn't know what that is, basically you have a quote-unquote fortune teller that will place cards out in front of you and basically read your future from the cards. And the easiest way, in my opinion, to debunk this nonsense is to if you were to do a psychic reading, a tarot reading, have them do a tarot reading for you, right? But then have them do another tarot reading right after. And of course the cards are going to come up different and tell you something completely different, and most likely...
Of course they wouldn't actually do that, because then they'd realize.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like that's I mean, it makes zero sense. Tarot readings to me, the cards themselves are interesting, and the backstories on each of the cards is actually pretty interesting. You can learn...
They're wonderful for material like Persona, but...
Yeah.
Where urban legend and new age thinking and woo makes sense in a fictional setting, but in the real world, it's just a cold reading.
Yeah, exactly. That's all they are, is cold readings. They'll throw out a bunch of things. I see, some mysterious man in your future, or woman, or
I got a list of the 22 major arcana here, and this is the world is when it's upright, fulfillment, harmony, and when it's reversed, incompletion, no closure. These are vague terms that could describe literally anything that's going on in your life.
Yeah, exactly. Freak5 says maybe a future Sweeto for the next 3 months to celebrate their 90th anniversary. My company is having weekly drawings for employees. This week, 10 people will win $1,000, and another 10 will win Yeti cups. I don't know what that means. Overall prizes will be from 45 to 40 grand. The big prize is 40 grand Jeep. If he wins a Jeep, he will ask for the money. I don't want a Jeep. I agree with you, Freak5.
The Yeti cups are like those really, they keep your drinks cold or hot depending on what it is. They're really nice.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I want a Tesla so I can start sniffing my own farts. You want a Tesla to support piece of shit Elon Musk is what you should have said. But you can get a Prius, a new Prius that's much cheaper and is actually really gets like 80 miles to the gallon, which I know is not great compared to Tesla because they don't use gas at all. But the new Priuses are really nice, really, really nice. Okay.
He made a South Park reference, by the way.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I'm only saying it because last time he did it and I didn't say anything, he said I missed it. So
there you go. So tarot readings, we've done it on the show before. They basically, a lot of times they will give you what you want to hear based on cold readings, and it's
basically it's facilitated reading. It's like they give you enough information.
Oh, it's like reading cards. Hold on a moment. Well, you guys go ahead and talk right back.
Okay. All right. So
basically, they give you enough information for you to fill in the rest of the apps yourself.
Yeah, you fill in that. It's very vague terms. You hit the nail on the head, Eric. It's the vagueness is what, and you're right about this being a very vulnerable time for a lot of people. They're looking for comfort in any which way they can get it, man. And this is definitely a way that they can get it. Break you back. He went away for a second. Okay. Well, let's move on. You brought up something else. You sent me a little like Quora kind of deal. Is voting third party a waste of time? It's an interesting question because philosophically it's not a waste of time. But if you vote third party, your vote is not going to decide who the next president is, right? But there are two schools of thought. Like there's the, making a point that you're not going to choose the lesser of two evils, which is the camp that I fall in. I can't see myself for voting, definitely not for Trump. Like it's just out of the question. And you know what? Biden's not much better. I think Biden has done more harm.
Biden already said he wasn't going to change anything. So at the very least, stuff probably won't get worse, but stuff won't improve either, which is not desirable.
Well, here's the thing. Joe Biden has a lurid history of causing damage to the American people that not a lot of people want to talk about, right? I mean, the crime bill alone is atrocious and awful, and that alone should disqualify Joe Biden from ever being in this position that he's in right now. You know, I don't think he deserves our vote at all whatsoever. He's totally opposed to legalization of marijuana. He still thinks that marijuana is a gateway drug, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's been proven over and over and over in study after study. Don't
even get me started on the Settle Biden hashtag group.
That's actually interesting because they're basically saying I guess settle for Biden. I mean, he's awful, but
Yeah, that's where I stand.
Yeah, and I understand that
He's
way of
absolutely horrible.
Maybe if enough people voted for a third party, the third party would, win,
be viable.
Get delegates for
Yeah.
it.
At least he doesn't want to be king. Basically.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, I went and got a deck of cards because, if there's anything that we know on here on RPGrinders, me and Frank, is psychics. Cause
yes.
We're both the greatest psychics.
So by cards, you mean you got not tarot cards, but you got like poker cards?
There's one thing I have in this house. There's tons
okay,
of
so
cards.
what did you draw?
I got a giant deck of cards here, so let's see here. Let's read your fortune here. We have the 7 of Hearts. That means that, Frank, you will find love.
Okay. Sweet. I like
She's
that.
there somewhere, I think. Let's see here. We got the 6 of Spades. That also means that you'll find love.
Yeah. You know what? Let's draw for
a spade is a dick. That's
let's draw for people in chat. Draw the next card, and I will give Wyland's future.
Okay, the future here. Let me see here. Wyland.
Yeah. The worst case scenario with Biden is Biden dies and Kamala Harris's VP pick will become president.
Oh my God! Fuck that, man. Kamala Harris is just as awful, and I could go hours talking about Kamala Harris. What's the card? Break, man. Did we lose Break?
He's suddenly Kevin Bacon again.
Did you piss off Kevin Bacon, Breakman? Is that what it is? I think he pissed off Kevin Bacon. Can't hear him, man. I don't know what's going on with Break. Break, are you there?
He's fapping to the women on the.
Oh my God! Don't say that, man. He probably is fapping. He got a deck of poker cards with naked women on them. That's even better. Sweet. Breakman, are you there? I was kind of looking forward to reading Wyland's future with the cards here. I think we completely lost Break. I don't know what's going on. Let me hang up on Break. I'll call him right back. But I'm gonna go ahead and do I have a deck of cards? Okay, I got cards. Okay, let me pull out one here. Let's see. This is the 9 of Clubs, and that's for Wyland. And what that means, Wyland, is if you're generous to your favorite friends, I mean, I'm assuming that the cards is saying RPGrinders, you will give us money. So there you go. Laughs in Kevin Bacon again. I'm trying to get Break back. I don't know what's going on with Break, man. But
so back to the talking about the whether or not your vote's worth it, and since we're in this situation, should we just vote for Biden? Because if we don't vote for him or vote for third party, I mean technically you're still giving a vote away that Trump won't get. So wouldn't it help anyway?
I'm gonna say no, Eric, and I'm gonna say, look, there's got to be. We do this every time, right? I've done it election after election.
Yeah, like everybody voted for Hillary. She actually won the popular vote. The electorate decided to vote for Trump.
Right. This is the thing, Eric.
Turn their backs on us.
It's kind of a philosophical thing more than anything, but I think it can turn into an actual thing, right? Your theory, if everybody votes third party, as many people as possible, at the very least it sends a message. Plus, if, let's say, for instance, everybody votes for the Green Party, right, and they get 5%, they start getting federal funding. which is a good first step, right? I actually don't believe it should be the Green Party. I think we should form a People's Party and have a people's platform instead of a corporate platform like the Democrats and Republicans always do. I mean, that's why we're in a duopoly right now, because the Democrats are weak. They say things that are nice. They'll tell you, all the racial issues, all the,
We don't even have a left-leaning party anymore. We have two right.
No, we have two right-wing parties. It just depends on which part of the spectrum there is. And Bernie was more left-center than left, and I'm more left than Bernie. I think we should go further than what he says. I think we all should have a universal income, just in case things like this pandemic hit. Like, we could fall back on that. We could pay our mortgages. We could pay our rent.
Speaking of which, people need to yell at him. I don't mean just literally. I mean put their feet to the fire as to why they do the things they do, and to come up with ways to trick them into doing the right thing.
Yeah. It's always the lesser of two evils, Eric. Like we always have to think about these things. Like, Obama was the big one that was the big hope and change candidate, right? Well, he did nothing but capitulate to Republicans over and over and over again. Plus, he bombed more than any other president in recent memory. Drone
he's
strikes.
Somehow less fascist than Trump.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, he's done as much damage as Trump, if not more, and he's revered. I'll give him
credit for the small things he might have done here and there, but those were breadcrumbs compared to all the nasty, horrible shit he did.
You know why he was a weak president, Eric? Because he had a super majority in the House and Senate and didn't get shit passed but Obamacare, which was a Republican healthcare afterthought.
The president gets a lot of flack for and I think the president's purpose within the three-branch system is misunderstood. Mainly, the biggest roles the president have is to declare war and to say yes or no to a law. He can propose laws, but he can't actually make them himself.
Yeah, I think over the years the presidential power has grown exponentially, Eric. You're right about that, but in general, in theory, it should be the way that you say. Like he proposes laws to Congress, and Congress takes it into consideration and decides to do it. The problem lies with the two-party system. There's always going to be one at one side and one at the other, and they're always going to argue about shit, right? And the way that we know this is true is right now they can't agree on the stimulus package. Like, how hard is it to think, okay,
and these are decisions that they're making about our lives. Why don't we have any say in any?
We have no say. That's the whole thing, man. Like, we're supposed to be able to vote in the representatives that we think are going to do what's in our best interest. But how many people are like that? I mean,
what's it going to take for us to get tired of this bullshit?
Yeah,
usurp the entire
the closest
administration.
The closest that we've been, Eric, is Bernie Sanders, right? He's not the end-all, tell-all. We've had our issues with him, Eric. You and I have detailed, everything.
That's what I'm calling a yes man, because he's just bowing to the party leadership because he thinks that will get him higher in the totem pole, so that he can actually do something. But
I don't think he's bowing to anybody, Eric. I think he's hamstrung by what they've done to him. They basically neutered him. After he lost the nomination, what else could he do?
Why did he vote for the stimulus bills and this one and probably the next one?
Well, because they always, there's always going to be bullshit with these bills, right? They're never going to vote on issue-specific bills. They always want to include one thing after another. You know what I mean? Like any bill that a Republican proposes is going to have Republican-leaning stipulations in them. The problem is the Democrats never draw red lines, right? They might say something like, oh, well, we need to add a little bit of money for education. But they never say you're not going to get your corporate liability unless you do A, B, C, and D. If you can agree to all of that, we'll let you have your corporate liability, which I don't think there should be any corporate liability protection for this virus. I think if you force people to work and you put them in unsafe conditions, you should face the court system and what they have to say. Breakman, did we have you back?
It's weird though, because
I
when
hope
people
so.
call him out on this stuff, you usually just give them the time of the day and
Yeah.
explain why
Yeah.
these things don't happen.
Yeah, we got you
Maybe,
back. I heard you break.
Maybe if we understand, we could, organize better.
Yeah, I don't know if I think we're past the point of all of that, Eric. I think it's either third party or bust, and Break and I have talked about this ad nauseum, and you as well, Eric. We've all talked about how this, but the only way it gets done is if everybody just says fuck the duopoly. We're not going to accept the lesser of two evils anymore, and we're going to vote third party. And if it happens to be the Green Party, then it happens to be the Green Party. I happen to think that it should be a People's Party, and that's what we should support with the People's Platform. And
So
anybody,
I'm on a loss as to why I should vote for, because I'm not voting for Biden.
I'm voting Green, Eric. I've decided. Like I understand the
isn't there several Green candidates? I don't know who they are.
Howie Hawkins is the top Green candidate, man. That's the guy you want to vote for. I mean,
need to look at the
he's got his own issues, and I'm not a huge fan of Howie Hawkins, but he's definitely better than either. Howie Hawkins.
Yeah.
He's definitely better than Biden, and I mean that's the thing. We have to pick between Trump and Biden. Trump, the worst president of all time, and Biden, probably one of the worst vice presidents we've ever seen. So
is the key to try to, like, I don't know, run some kind of advocacy group for people to let people know that there is other options out there?
Yeah. Freak5 says, I didn't hear Break. Maybe he should play the harmonica until we can hear him. Well, I heard him. Are you back, Break? Oh, Jesus Christ. I like that little melody that you did at the end there, Breakman. Maybe you're starting to learn a little bit there, man. There you go. So your thoughts, Breakman? I know you're leaning towards voting for Biden, right? Just to get rid of the Cheeto, right?
Yeah, I can't take Trump. Can't take him.
Here's the thing, though, Breakman. If you think about Biden's career and everything that he's done and everything he represents, like it's repulsive that you're in that position that you have to vote for that guy.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I definitely agree. I'm not happy about it, but Trump is. I mean, he's a worldwide criminal. He's involved in the American mob, the Russian mob, various other mobs across the globe. I mean, he's
The Chinese mob, probably.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, just obviously he was involved with Epstein, and
How did Trump last this long, Breakman? I mean, honestly.
that's the other thing is no one's holding him accountable. That's
I'm surprised no one's
most
tried to kill
irritating
him.
thing.
Yeah.
I've said it before. I think if he got reelected, I think all bets would be off at the point where he starts talking about, I think we should be president, or I should be president for 10 more years or 8 more years or whatever, something like that.
Yeah,
right?
he's already said that, man. Like I
I
said,
know, but I'm saying if he got reelected and then really starts going for that, then I think
here's a scenario that nobody wants to think about, Breakman. What happens if this COVID gets a vaccine and everybody starts feeling better? And his approval ratings start going up and up and up because he made it happen. He put the funding there. He how he'll tout it.
I know. Like the gaslighting of this administration it's epic proportions. Like, this is wife beating, like gaslighting. Like I beat you because I love you.
Yeah, it's almost.
Like,
I was gonna say it's almost like
you need to not be online because there could be guys that could be talking to you. So I do this because I love you.
Yeah, it's like a Stockholm syndrome type thing, man. Like I mean, at this point, like, we could say it's only his base, which is 25% of the United States, which is sick to think about, man. That 25% would vote for him no matter what, racist clown they would vote for. You know what I mean? It's really sad that people can't think for themselves and just see via his actions maybe they like this. They like the racism.
There are a lot to do, but there are a lot, like you said, who just they can't see it. They stick their heads up their ass.
People trying to guilt me into voting for Biden.
Yeah, and you don't have to, Eric. That's the thing. Like, I know.
Yeah, I don't say a word when you guys say you're going to vote for third party. I'm like, well, I mean, I can't blame you. I don't want to vote for Biden.
Yeah, see, that's the attitude that everybody should take.
I have almost complete confidence that there are enough people voting for Biden anyways that one vote or two is.
I have a feeling, Eric, you're right. Like, I have a feeling.
But I have an worse feeling that Trump's going to somehow convince the electors to vote for him again.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, man. Like, I
have convinced I'm bribery.
Yeah,
and I've talked to several Democrats too, like people who normally vote Democrat, and none of them are happy with Biden.
No,
like it's just like nobody really likes the guy, and nobody really trusts him to get anything done, and he doesn't seem to know what's going on or the right thing to say at the right time. He can't seem to keep his hands off of other people,
He's a serial liar. He lies all the time. Like, he's lied about being in the civil rights movement. He's lied about how he had nothing to do with the crime bill, even though he practically wrote that bill. And he's lied about not wanting to cut Social Security, which you can kiss Social Security goodbye if he gets in. But you could do the same thing with Trump. Trump doesn't give a fuck about Social Security either, so,
Donut party.
Yeah.
Did you say the donut party? Because somebody said ice cream party, but you said donut. I'm voting for the donut party. I don't care who the representative is. Yeah. Donut party.
Freak5 says, I wonder who the nominee for the transhumanist party is. That's a good question. I'm voting for the ice cream party. I like their chocolate and vanilla initiatives.
Taco party.
I think
Eric is now the president of the donut party, and he now has my vote.
I think there should be an RPG party, and I think I'm going to lead that party. So vote for Frank is going to
be. You know what's weird?
I mean,
how dare you?
You got my support.
I have a question to ask. Yeah, have any of you watched Dr. Stone or read Dr. Stone?
Dr. Stone, what is that?
Anyways, the setting is that like some weird freak accident occurs and all of humanity is trapped in stone, and the only one that actually, at least the only one we know.
I've seen the previews for it. No, I haven't seen it though.
The only one that escapes is this kid named Senko. Sorry. And he uses science to try to resurrect people back, and he gets a handful of people using a combination of various chemicals that he concocted, and set about doing it for the rest of the world, or rather, at least for this point in time, Japan, because this is where he's located. But
I like Freak 5's thinking.
And some crazy stuff happens, and now he's almost gonna fight a war with some Neanderthal-like guy who wants to kill all the adults because the adults were responsible for this shitty situation, and he believes that killing all people solve the problem, even though he's completely forgotten about the prospect of young people becoming the shitty old people in the future.
Yeah. Freak 5 says, I'm voting for the sex toy party. I think I could be down with that. But you're right, Breakman. Like, I don't know if you could, get behind it.
But anyways, I wanted to get back to Dr. Stone for a bit. Anyways, I'm wondering if some pissed off person back in his era, before the 3,000 years of frozen stone happened, they did that because they were upset with humanity's state.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we're that close to that happening here. It was like, let's just end it all.
Yeah. Maybe I'll vote for Vermin Supreme, Freak 5. There you go. 2016, a guy named Zoltan was a transhumanist presidential candidate. Yeah. I wish we had more parties, in all seriousness. I wish we had, at least 4, 5, 6, 7 different parties. That way, at least...
Life is not black and white. Why is our government black and white.
It's always that way, and nothing ever gets done, Breakman. At least things for the people don't get done. Corporations get their way all the time. Like, the Republicans have already put a red line in the sand saying, they're going to get that corporate liability shield. So none of us can sue corporations for putting us in dangerous situations.
With threatening the USPS and mail-in ballot suppression, I'm wondering if we should just do in-person early voting.
At your own peril. I mean, COVID risk,
am,
man.
But yeah, like Frank just said, at your own peril. I'm doing like in-person voting because, yeah.
I'm doing mail-in ballot. Fuck that.
I could do that, and I could just wear a mask and wear gloves. So
yeah, you could do that.
Mailing is more secure, but what they're doing with the post office, I'm just afraid.
Well, the good thing about here in Colorado is I think it's like 30 to 40 days out, so my ballot will get there. If you're in a state where there's no like,
I got a copy for a mail-in ballot request, so I could just send that in.
You could do that. I don't know how Ohio is, but I agree with you guys in the fact that the USPS is going to try to sabotage. But I think if you have an early voting state, like, go for early voting. Just mail in your ballot and hope for the best. I mean, I'm with you, Breakman. I don't want Trump to get a second term. I just can't bring myself to vote for the lesser of two evils again. I've done it over and over and over and over again, and it never, ever, ever works out in the people's favor. It never does. I mean, we did it with Barack Obama, and he's brought more wars. He brought us from like 2 to 7 wars. He bombed.
I was thinking about that the other day with all like the promises Trump made, like getting us out of war and stuff like that. No, we're still in the same amount of wars.
Yep, same wars. At least he didn't increase the wars. I mean, we were close. We were close, but at least we didn't get an increase in war.
He's gonna. I'm surprised at this point he hasn't caused world war. Like, it's just.
Yeah.
Well, if Pence were in charge, we'd probably have double the amount of wars we have now.
That's true too. I mean, that's true. So yeah, it sucks that we're all in this position. I mean, I'm with Eric. I'm pretty confident. Like, I'm more confident than I was, because last time I said, look, Trump's got a good chance. When people were shitting.
A miracle would have to happen for like both Biden and Trump to just get COVID and die. So.
I know. I was thinking the same thing too, man. If they both got COVID and blah blah
they'd
blah,
have to draw up a completely new ballot.
Oh shit, man, that would be chaos, man. I mean, I think it would be, the Democrats would definitely put in somebody like Kamala Harris, which is another, oh god. I mean, better than Biden, but not by much. I mean, honestly, not by. Is that his VP pick, by the way? Did he pick Kamala?
Last I heard, she was dropping down in his choice. Somebody else is coming up. I don't know that, but these are just rumors. So
somebody like Barbara Lee, I could get with. I mean, if he picked like.
Can we write in Bernie anyways?
Yeah, you could. I mean, there's a lot of people that are going to do that. I heard about that.
Then he'd actually have to, listen to us.
Yeah, well.
I'm going to write in Mickey Mouse and hope enough people do too.
Yeah, every year a bunch of people vote for Mickey Mouse, actually. It's strange. Like, Mickey Mouse gets tons of votes every year. It's really weird. Like, I don't know. I was tempted to write in Bernie, but I think this time I'm going with the Green Party, just in the hopes that the 5% get there and they get a little more funding, and people take a third party a little more seriously. That's how I'm leaning. I don't want to vote for Biden. I definitely don't want to vote for Trump. I mean, that's a given. So whatever.
It's just
shit sandwich or giant douche. I mean, it's always that way. That's how it is.
It's just this gaslighting has gone to the absolute extreme under Trump. It's
yeah. Okay, guys, that's about it for today's show. Next week on the show, we are going to start our greatest Nintendo 64 games of all time, and between the three of us, we'll get the top 64. If you guys have suggestions, give them to @RPGrinders, and we will definitely include them into the top 64. And then by the end of the month, we will have an N64 champion, and then maybe we can go on to something different. We'll decide at the end of the month. But okay, so let's do our plugs. Breakman, plug away.
You can follow me at break_man on Twitter and at RPGrinders, where you can tell us your favorite N64 games, and you can ask your Dear Breakman question, where we can save your life, or as today we save ghosts. We save the lives of ghosts.
Yeah, by banging, ghost banging.
Yeah.
You know, Freak5 says
yes.
Freak5 says he wants to vote for me. I don't know what that's all about, but okay, appreciate that, Freak5. Anything else, Break?
I don't think we should vote for an immortal to be president, just in case.
just in case.
Frank the Immortal. How about the game of the Immortal?
Dungeon says
Frank's
he's
the dude on that box cover.
Yeah. Dungeon says he's voting for Briars and their running mate Klondike. I could get with that. Freak5 says Ocarina of Time. Okay, that's on the list, Freak5. You know that was going to be on the list, though, for sure.
Canadian ice cream brands are better than the U.S. ones.
I like Briars, man. Briars is really fucking good. They're really, really good. Okay, Eric, your plugs.
I'm going to plug... excuse me, BostonBashBrigade.com, TotallyGN.com. I've got a review up for Vasara collection on BostonBashBrigade.com. And if you like what I've written and you want to support me, sending me as little as $1 to my Patreon would help me out. And you can find the link to my Patreon on my Twitter profile, which is at EricRPG.
Okay. Anything else, Eric?
Other than to stay safe out there and try not to drive out too much and go to bars, even which is stupid because they shouldn't be open because there's still a pandemic.
Yeah.
Or go to baseball games. Fuck that's dumb.
Yeah, too. That's dumb too. I actually think all sports.
Fuck the MLB. They should.
Nobody. They aren't. People aren't going to MLB games.
No, they're not going
to high school games.
No, he's talking about.
Freak was talking about was the local teams.
Yeah.
Dungeon says Indiana Jones and the Temple of Ghostbangers. I like that one, Dungeon. That's a good one. I want to thank everybody.
Hopefully, it's a less racist movie.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody that was in chat. Time Lapse Gamer was in there, first timer, I believe, for Time Lapse Gamer. Our good friend Dungeon was in there. Freak5 Chaos, our good friend Freak5 was in there. Our good friend Wyland was in there while he was at work, so appreciate that. Dungeon was in there. So thank you guys so much for joining. I think did I miss it? I think I missed somebody.
Is Quiet Place gonna be a video on demand movie? Is it gonna go to the path that Bill and Ted have?
You mean Quiet Place 2?
Yeah.
They said they were putting it out at the theater in September, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Stupid. I'm sick of these these companies all these. Let's put them out in the theater. We gotta do this. We gotta do this.
I know. I mean,
risking people's lives.
It's almost over for theaters, man.
Oh, just make a deal with Netflix and throw it on Netflix.
Yeah, exactly.
You get your money. You just won't get your money the way that we've been doing it because tradition is a stupid reason to do anything.
Yeah.
Well, see, the thing is, if the government had done its job for the last several months, these companies wouldn't be in threat of going out of business.
Yeah.
You think these companies would be pushing back in order to save their profits?
Yeah.
Because obviously the president's not looking out for them.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys, I didn't even tell you guys what I was playing this week. I played DQ11. I'm halfway through.
Oh, how's your wrist feeling?
How dare you? I'm halfway done, man. I'm almost done. I mean, I'm halfway done, which is, code for it's going to take me another 2, 3, 4 weeks to get that game done, but I'll get it done soon.
Yeah. Bill Ted's probably $20, and you know what? I'll fucking pay it.
Yeah, I like Bill and Ted's.
See the video on demand version. I'm excited that it's going to be video on demand. I wish more companies would do that because Wyland's saying Quiet Place 2 is going to be pushed back to next year.
Yeah.
Just like Black Widow and.
Can you read Scoob through the red box yet?
No, I haven't yet. I should.
Is it available on Redbox?
I believe it is. Freak5 says Bill and Ted's excellent ghost banging. Yeah, I would watch that. Star Wars: Return of the Ghost Bangers. Okay. Wyland says, I think A Quiet Place 2 got pushed back, which you already said. Hopefully Wyland's boss doesn't listen, otherwise he might get exiled from his job. No, I think Wyland's pretty secure. Wait, what? I switched from phone.
We're the problem.
It's not a new listener.
Oh, okay. Time-lapse gamer is Slagar. Well, thanks, Slagar, for letting me know, man. I don't know what your other accounts are. Well, our good friend Slagar was in chat all this time.
Realize it was him by the way he texts or types or something, like, you know what I mean?
Jeez, I mean, come on, man. What am I, a fucking like forensic chatter guy?
It's
Come
your
on.
psychic.
Yeah.
That's what Frank is.
You're a psychic, Frank. Duh.
I'm supposed to be psychic. Next week I'll be playing. Hey, update on that Freak 5. It said it should be there Tuesday. So look for it Tuesday or before. You should get it. His Freak 5 picked Fairy Tale for the Switch.
Oh yeah,
so.
I do have a homie discount that I completely forgot to mention, but I don't know if it's still active. But I was able to get a copy of the Switch version of Cold Steel 3 for
nice.
$48
Nice.
on Amazon.
Yeah.
So you could price match that at places like anywhere that price match, like Best Buy.
That's awesome. Cool.
If you don't want to support Amazon, because Jeff Bezos doesn't really need your money.
That's true. But goddamn, that Amazon 2-day shipping is pretty amazing, man.
I went with free shipping.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is usually 2 to 4 days.
Yeah. Wyland just got home. Thanks, Slagar, for being in chat. Really appreciate it, man. It was your other gamer tag, but really appreciate your other chat name. But you know how it goes. Thanks to all the archive listeners. Thanks to Tony for sending in his answer. The answer was 1428 Elm Street in Ohio. So there you go. Springwood, Ohio, the fictional Springwood, Ohio. So
How many Elm Streets there are in this country? I'm guessing thousands.
There's a lot, man. But he guessed the right. I mean, he had the right one.
Name you have for a street.
Yeah. So, congrats to him. Thanks for everybody for participating in episode 600. It was a lot of fun a couple weeks ago. I know we had a lot of fun. But with new segment, man, starting next week, the bracket challenge was a huge success, man. People really liked that. Chatters liked that. Archive listeners liked it. So we're going to be doing more of that. Although a different format, we're going to be doing, each week we're going to whittle down 64. Instead of doing it all in one show, we're going to do it throughout the month. So there you go. Okay, I was just reading chat. Thanks to everybody out there. I really appreciate everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at Frank Branches on all the systems, just RPGrinders on all the systems. What else? Chatters, I already thanked all the archive listeners. Thank you all so much. Really appreciate it. If you're listening on the archives, join us live every Friday, 7 Eastern on twitch.tv/RPGrinders, or just search RPGrinders on YouTube or Twitch, and you'll find us. And follow us. We're 4 followers away on Twitch from 50. So if you could follow us on Twitch if you haven't already, go ahead and do so. That would help out. We get new, I guess, emojis if we get up to 50 followers. So follow us on Twitch. All right.
So we get new emojis?
Something like that. I was reading about it. It's kind of cool. So, so whatever. Anyways, thank you to everybody out there listening. Really appreciate it. We're coming up on 10,000. We actually, I think I mentioned this, 10,000 downloads on Podbean, which is a little milestone. And 10,000 views on Twitch, which is, Twitch has been a pretty good success for us. So thanks to everybody out there. Really, really appreciate it. Gentlemen, you have anything else?
Just this.
You're exiled, you son of a bitch. What were you saying, Eric? All right, you're on exile because you did the cowbell. All right. Thanks to everybody out there. Stay safe this weekend. Don't touch your face. Wear a mask. All that good fun stuff. Wash your hands. Stay away from people. Stay home if you can. I know some people are working, but, it is what it is. Anyways, stay safe out there. We want to see you back here next weekend. Till then, we're out.
probably would have stepped up and interrupted it.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, it's like,
I thought we were gonna get through with
speaking of
it.
pole
But,
dancing in Fairy Tale movie 2, that's exactly what Lucy does, along with
Oh,
like
boy.
a couple other girls, in
Yeah.
order to extract information from this pervy guy.
Yeah, that's all we need to end of the show. Pervy guys. There you go. Okay, everybody in chat, thank you so much. Dungeon, really appreciate it. And everybody listening on the archives on Twitch and YouTube and wherever else you're
Also,
listening.
the movie somehow made her and Urza's hips even bigger.
Yeah. Okay, chatters, it was a fun show. Looking forward. Thanks for giving us the suggestions on what to do for our bracket challenge, which is going to be an ongoing segment. So later.